everybody to Editors in Exile. We are two editors that were recently fired because AI is taking over. I'm joined by my co host, Neil. How's it going, Neil? How was your week and how was your weekend?
It was good. My wife had her procedure last week for her back. She's doing better.
Nice. Well, that's really good to hear.
But yeah, we had a nice one. Our local community has its annual festival, and so we went to that for a little bit. Had some amazing spaghetti.
Is that one of your favorite foods?
Oh yeah, especially when it's honest Italian spaghetti and not store bought.
How could you tell the difference?
Oh please, it's just the body, the spaghetti body. It just tastes better.
You feel it in your body, or is it just the spaghetti itself?
It's
Like just the flavor?
as the Italians would say. I don't know what an Italian would say. It's just better. I'm
Yeah,
German.
spaghetti
What
used to
I'm
be.
German. What would I know about an Italian?
Uh, so if you could pick one meal to eat for the rest of your life, would that be spaghetti?
Well, that'd be a close second, but the first would have to be chicken fried steak.
Chicken fried steak? Chicken fried
Uh,
steak?
Chicken fried steak. It's a chicken steak with an breading to it and white gravy and everything. So yeah.
Nice. I've never
How
heard that
about you?
before.
How
So
about
is it
you?
chicken or steak? Or is it both?
It's both.
It's both?
Yeah.
How do they do that?
Yeah. I only eat it. I don't know the process.
So you like, do you make so does your wife make that recipe or something?
No,
Or
that
you go to a certain
that's
place for
that's a
that?
restaurant. That's a restaurant visit.
Okay.
Black eyed pea.
Nice. Yeah. So
What
if
about
you guys, if no one have doesn't know this, but I am a vegan, so my favorite food would probably have to be tofu.
and we're partnered on this? Why?
Because, like I said, we are editors in exile.
Oh
We've been
no.
fired because AI is taking over. Yeah, maybe if I meet Neil in person, I'll bring him some tofu for him to try. I'll bring tofu for everybody. You know what's funny?
I'll give you a
When
melon
I was
pie and
when
meatballs.
when I was frequently going to church, we would have these gatherings and everybody would bring food, and my wife and I we bought fried mushrooms and it went untouched, right? And then after a while, some people were like, because everything else was being eaten, so they decided to try it, and they actually liked it, and everybody started eating it. It was just fried oyster mushrooms. Like when you hear that, you're like
Yeah,
mushrooms, but
I did.
with
No,
the seasonings,
I like mushroom.
yeah, with the seasonings and the breading on it, it's actually pretty tasty. But let's not get too ahead of ourselves. So today we're going to be talking about this Trump supporter who was at this St. Louis City soccer game, and he was wearing a MAGA hat similar to the one that I'm wearing. Well, the exact one that I'm wearing, called Michael Weitzel. I could be wrong, but he
No, I think that was correct.
yeah, but he got kicked out because he was wearing a MAGA hat, and of course there were pride flags at the soccer game that he pointed out, and they didn't care. They still kicked him out. So I'm actually gonna share my screen for anyone who hasn't seen it. But what did you think about it, Neil, when you saw that video? Because I know you sent it to me and asked to discuss
Well,
this issue.
do you have the video just as still?
Oh yeah, I have the video right here, so I can
Yeah, let's show
play
it, and
it.
then we'll talk about it.
Yeah, for sure.
We're on cameras up here. No, I just want to make sure I just. Yeah, what's up? So I'm Michael Weitzel. I'm being asked to leave by the police because of Donald Trump.
Hey, I'm a Donald Trump.
You're a Trump fan?
I'm a man. Yes,
Yep.
I am.
So I just want
all these coppers you got to deal with them, MAGA. But they don't do not political. They don't want any kind of political.
So those flags over there, those are pre-approved. Those flags over there, those aren't crazy. So my question to you guys is: are these rules equally enforced on everybody?
Here's my question to you.
And the only way I can do that is if I enforce it with you. Or you just go out and handcuff. So I'm being threatened with arrest. Why am I breaking? What am I? We ask you to leave. You're asking me to leave.
You want to take a big?
Okay. We're gonna walk up. I'm being evicted from the premises because of Donald Trump. Because we can't wear Donald Trump hats in public, and so now I'm being evicted from the premises. We need a big procession to get me out of here. Trump is not welcome in St. Louis City SC Club. Trump is not welcome here. I'm giving Maggie guys.
We're the ones.
I'm trying. I know we're the ones who don't complain about everything you cry about.
I know.
But if we're gonna do this,
we don't want. Oh, you just take the hat off and go back in.
If I take the hat off, I can go back in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really?
We're past that.
You ready to get that chance too?
No, that's fine.
Just for this game.
Just for this game? Okay.
Because I'm usually my more pro.
You're Trump. He gets it. He's just following the rules. It's not his fault. But this is the stadium's rules here. Thank you, sir. Hey. So that's what happens if you wear a Donald Trump hat to a St. Louis City Soccer Club game. Thanks for watching.
Okay.
You know, a couple of things I realize about that. He mentions, if you notice, he says, the guy talking to him, it's not political to anyone, and yet Weitzel points out the flags, get the pride flags. And why are they up? Because of politics. They would not be flying it, the flags, if it wasn't political. And yet they're telling Weitzel that he's being escorted out because he's just wearing an offensive hat, but it's not political. Now, you can't play both sides of the teeter-totter there. Either it is or it isn't. So it's very much political. I mean, the employee security tells Weitzel he supports what he's doing, but he has to follow the rules of the club. He's doing his job. He was even willing to say, if you take off the hat, you can go back. But the police changed that. They said, no, we're past that point. But only for that game. So here's my question. What if Weitzel comes back with the hat on? Are they going to do the same thing?
Probably will. But if he comes with like a pride flag or some kind of pride shirt, I mean, he will be applauded. I mean, he was even booed while he was getting kicked out. It seemed like he was being booed by other people.
I thought I
And
heard
that's my
some
question
cheering.
too.
I thought
Some
I
cheering
heard some
too.
support and
Probably a little bit
support.
of both.
Yeah.
Which is probably my question because did he enter the stadium with the hat on, or did he not enter the stadium with the hat on and then put it on eventually as the game went on? But then, like, why did security approach him either way? I mean, there's like 1,000 people at that soccer game, unless like other people were complaining about him, noticing that he was wearing his Trump hat. Because if you are wearing a Trump hat in public, you will be spotted, you will be ridiculed, you will be thrown to the dogs basically. And it is crazy that even the security guard who was trying to appear like this understanding, friendly guy, like, hey, I'm on your side, but I gotta follow the rules. But of course, he reiterates that, look, you'll either be walked out of here or handcuffed. And he's like, but what about the pride flags? And he's like, well, those are pre approved. So it's like, do you need some kind of pre approval to wear a Trump hat? And it's like, this is the president of the United States, and we're still treating Trump like you're not supposed to openly support the president. Like their Trump supporters are like non-existent at this point. It's just something I really don't get.
It's a little hypocritical. You asked, did he have it going in? My question is, if why did he get as far as he did wearing the Trump hat? So I almost wonder if there's not a little bit of a staging to this, not on his part, but to use him as an example, because something tells me the gentleman probably wore it in, and they could have said something at the gate, but they're waiting till he's basically where he's going to sit. I'm assuming until they decided to do something, and that with the cameras that play, and maybe I do sound like a conspiracy theorist on this, but with the cameras that play from different angles all over, you can't tell me that they didn't see that all along. And then all of a sudden, you know what? We need to make an example out of one of them. And the club management would have had a perfect opportunity to press a point that we're not going to put up with this, but they could have done something a lot sooner. They wait till he's practically seated. Maybe even the game had started. I don't know. But
Yeah, and oh, I was gonna say that I read on the Blaze that they said that he was a season ticket holder, and I'm guessing that means that he frequently attend these games. And I just wonder if he's always wearing this Trump hat, and he's kind of seemed as quote like controversial for being this Trump supporter because it's just crazy the reaction he got out while he was getting kicked out, where it's like some cheering, some booing. And I guess you are like this controversial figure if you support Trump. And it kind of goes back to our last video that did on Sydney Sweeney. And if you haven't watched that, you should go watch it because it's a really entertaining
which, by
video.
the way, you accused me of not knowing who she was at the end.
Well, no,
I
you
did.
said that. But in that video, or maybe I told you this off camera, but I mentioned that I used to have Trump hats in my car. And I eventually removed those Trump hats because, well, they were getting a little faded in color, but also I removed it because of the live reactions I would get from having those in my car. No, we live in Florida, a red bleeding state. Mostly the people who vote here vote red. But like I used to always get these live reactions and I never did it for people who would cheer me on or confront me, but it was mainly for me because I support Trump. I mean, he's my favorite president and I just didn't like all the attention that was being on me. And like I would be driving and I would see people and they would be like cursing me out, or some people would be like cheering me on, giving me a thumbs up, and I just had to remove it because it's just crazy. Versus if I had like pride stickers on my car, if I had coexist stickers and fuck Donald Trump and all the craziness that a lot of liberals would have. I mean, that is pre-approved by society.
Well, that kind of leads me into something I just read almost on a positive note, though. Not per se Donald Trump, but back to the thing of wokeism. I guess the NFL gathered in the last day or two, and they've taken a step back from the push on wokeism. They've told that the team personnel that were allowed to do like LGBTQ bands and shoelaces and insignias of that, they've told them that that has to go, that the out and out showcasing support of the LGBTQ awareness is to be removed from the playing field. Well, we'll see how far that goes, but something tells me that the MAGA movement is having an impact in a lot of the ways that people don't even notice yet. But that caught my eye because football is the big sport of this country. It used to be baseball, but football is the what gets everybody's attention. And when the NFL steps up and says that the LGBTQ bans what they call insignias on, like I said, shoelaces and wristbands and things like that have to be removed from the playing field, the public view. I, that kind of speaks to wokeism once again losing its impact. Americans are little by little starting to push back and say, we're tired of this. Your special interests should not infringe upon our our everyday traditions, our everyday life. You know, we never went around wearing heterosexual, promoting shoestrings and bands and things like that. So why should one sexual persuasion, one sexual preference be thrust into our face the way it had been? And in a lot of ways continues to be so, but it's not as in your face in some venues as it used to be. So maybe there is a bending back to certain values that Americans are wanting to see happen again.
Yeah, hopefully. So you telling me that NFL didn't decide to push back when Colin Kaepernick was kneeling during the anthem? They should have been did that.
Well, they should have, but let's be honest. The culture, and, and I'm sure you've heard it all, but the BLM culture and wokeism and
Yeah.
Antifa and all that together created a fear factor. That corporate or sports or entertainment, they were going to bend their back to try and placate the woke crowd, the woke aspect of society. And it's been a few years since Kaepernick did that, and we saw sports even at the Olympics that certain individuals or teams do the bending the knee at the national anthem or even the flying of the American flag. But that's starting to get pushed back too. I think some teams are saying we've had actually. I can't think of the coach, but there was some coach here a while back that had said anyone that bends the knee won't be playing that day. We're going to have pride in what our country stands for and not allow some special interest dictate what goes on in the American pastimes, in the American way of life, in everyday USA routine.
Yeah, because when Kaepernick was out of a job, and of course he was trying to force himself back into the NFL, a lot of people, NFL players who were supporting Kaepernick and uh, bending the knee during the anthem, they eventually stopped once they saw that Kaepernick wasn't going to play again. But I would say the NBA and the WNBA are probably the most left leaning when it comes to sports because during 2020, uh, when sports were kind of shut down, they were taking a break because of COVID, and the NBA was playing in the bubble, which they were playing at Disney. You saw like a lot of NBA players bending the knee during the anthem, and they were wearing Black Lives Matter shirts. And even recently in the WNBA, you see them demanding more pay, but it's all about the WNBA being entertaining or not. So they're not going to get paid more. But yeah, WNBA and NBA are more about political messaging. They could kind of just get away with whatever. And that just makes me think about just a general reaction when it comes to supporting red leaning views or being a Trump supporter. And I'm going to share my screen because I actually have a couple of videos that I want to show you, Neil, when it comes to political messaging. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
So here's another picture at the St. Louis soccer game where you can see on the top it says political. You can see Michael wearing his MAGA hat and then not political. And you can literally see the rainbow.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then here's another video. I guess this is from a TV show. Play this. It says using a MAGA hat to avoid social situations.
Arigato. All right, 2 seats at the sushi bar. You know what? Actually, I think we'd prefer to sit at a table, please. Huh. Sad. Very sad. Sad. Well, over and over and Hey! What the fuck are you doing? Oh, motherfucker, what the fuck? What are you trying to do, man? What the fuck are you doing? You little fucker. I'm sorry, I didn't see you. What the fuck? I'm so sorry. I rip you out of that fucking car. You little shit. I'm sorry, I didn't see you. Just be more careful next time, okay? Will do. Will do. Okay.
And there's actually a couple more. Do you remember?
You really
Okay,
need
here.
to censor your videos a little bit.
Yeah. Yes, sorry. Okay, so here's a video that I found. It says a bartender at Chatterbox Bar in Indianapolis threatened a Trump supporter with a bat and kicked her out the bar after they spotted her MAGA hat. Another woman can be heard telling the victim she wasn't welcome. And when the Trump supporter pointed out that this was clear discrimination, the bar can be heard laughing at her. So here's a 30-second clip.
I have a question.
No, we're not answering
Why?
questions. Get out of the car.
Why?
Because you're a Trump supporter.
I know, but don't you guys want our money?
No, actually, we don't. Get out of my bar right now. You're not welcome. I'm not fucking around. Get out of my bar.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. Out.
Because I'm wearing a Trump hat.
Yes.
That's wild.
I don't care. Get out.
We can call the police, or you can just leave.
You know this is like discrimination, right?
Oh, boo-hoo. Boo fucking who. Get out of my bar.
What happened to diversity, right? Like everyone was welcomed. Diversity really means that everyone who thinks the same is welcomed in the same room.
Yeah, diversity only works when you are in lockstep. A term that I kind of put with Nazi Germany, lockstep.
Yep.
And and yet they call us the Nazis, but we're not the ones chasing people out of bars because they're gay. We don't chase, we don't discriminate and remove people from a stadium if they wear a swastika on their hat. And yet we're the ones who are Nazi identified. There's quite the dichotomy going on there.
Yeah, and it's like are liberals actually talking to Trump supporters instead of attacking them and trying to throw them out of places? Like if you actually have a conversation with a Trump supporter and say, "Hey, why do you support Trump?" Like, wouldn't you want to just gain understanding instead of just assuming Trump is a fascist? What the mainstream media is telling you, and you get upset when somebody's wearing a Trump hat.
That's just it. They can't think. They refuse to think for themselves. That I'm not going to pinhole every Democrat, every liberal as mindless, but they allow the spokespeople, they allow the everyday high-profile individuals, the media, to narrate what they should be believing. And unfortunately, a lot of Democrats and some rhinos really have not taken the time to see what it is the conservatives are trying to promote and help the country. But no, they with them it's all about power. It all comes down to
Yep, and here's just another example of the mainstream media telling liberals how Trump supporters are. And this is embarrassing for Tom Hanks, who played in one of my favorite movies, Forrest Gump. He plays this racist Trump supporter while wearing a MAGA hat and hesitates to shake a black man's hand. And even if they were trying to be funny, it's not funny when you have places like ABC, CNN, MSNBC constantly calling Trump a fascist and the modern day Hitler. Here's a 30-second clip from SNL.
Church, we wouldn't be in this mess we're in now.
You know what? I agree with you, Doug. I'd like to shake your hand, sir. Here we go.
No,
Oh, no. Oh, no. It's just a handshake. Yeah, it's just a handshake. Yeah, all right. You're welcome in Black Jeopardy anytime.
Oh, well, all right. Well, thank you, my brother. Maybe I'll start a show for you to come on, and we'll call it White Jeopardy.
No.
We don't need it. We don't need it.
White Jeopardy. Haha, SNL. Whoever
yeah.
wrote that joke needs a raise.
Tom Hanks. It's sad. Tom Hanks has so much talent, and he's definitely my wife's favorite actor. But over time, the ones that we really enjoy watching, they allow their politics, they allow their beliefs to start alienating people. And I don't know that many of them care. I've seen a lot of conservative actors, even on Twitter comments and things like that, get bashed by the other side because of their stand. They're called has-beens. They're called no talent bums. You know what? I'm not going to sit here and call Tom Hanks no talent. He's very talented. He has portrayed so many, from Walt Disney to Mr. Rogers and other movies he's done. I've always enjoyed watching him, but they can't let it go. They can't let the politics go, and yet they forget a lot of their popularity where they are has included conservative audiences. I
Just
haven't.
don't see. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say I've enjoyed people like Tom Hanks. I've enjoyed watching others, but I feel like they are causing me and others like me to stop watching them anymore because they want to insult us for what we believe in, and then they expect that I'm going to pay money to go see them perform somewhere in a movie, in a play, buy their music if they're a singing artist, whatever.
Yeah,
I
people
will
should.
I'll put my money into maybe lesser talented, lesser known individual
No, exactly.
when
People like that.
that does not allow their personal politics to insult the general everyday audience.
Yeah, celebrities, I think they shouldn't be political at all. Tom Hanks has
Well,
really great
there's nothing
movies.
wrong with them having their belief, but don't throw it in our face. Don't make us feel like we're the enemy. Don't insult us, and we won't do the same to you.
Oh, that is true, and is trying to force this propaganda down our throat and trying to criticize us for believing what we believe in and trying to create this picture of what this typical Trump supporter looks like, which is completely not true at all. And it's sad because Tom Hanks is a really good actor. He's played in most of my favorite movies. And then, but a lot of people are like that. I mean, this goes from like actors, music, artists, where you support their work, but at the end of the day, they hate you for the way you vote. It's honestly not fair, and then they publicly just criticize you. It's really not fair for them to do such a thing, and I'd rather people like that just not even share their political views. And if you do it in a way where you have an understanding of why people would vote the opposite of you and you don't care. Like my one of my great friends is a liberal, and we will have discussions uh, about politics, and then we will leave it at that, and we will have dinner together. But we're not gonna, rip each other's head off for voting differently. Like at the end of the day, people are gonna vote the way they want. People have different opinions and views, but that shouldn't ruin anything.
No, and I agree. And you have to keep in mind that the celebrities and specifically actors and actresses that are pro conservatism, I'm not going to say that they like Trump, but they're definitely pro conservatism. You have people like John Voight, James Woods, a couple of long ago A-list actors, but because their politics started coming in and they only started showcasing them because they were being slammed and losing parts and the possibility of parts because of their politics. They were being blacklisted. But they never went out of their way to publicly insult the left. But as time went on, James Woods, for example, has become very prolific on X.com as a critic of the left. But he would not have done that if they had just left him alone and let him pursue his craft. But because they wanted to we're going to turn him into example, he became one of the strongest Trump supporters out there. And you have others that are Christians. Gary Sinise, Kevin Sorbo. He was known for his playing Tarzan. Others like him, their politics and their beliefs became more prominent because of the attacks that were happening on the right, and sometimes on them specifically. So if they had been left alone and let to do their craft, they wouldn't have been as vocal as they are now. So the left can actually take credit for conservative celebrities to become more pronounced. So, if anything, I guess I'll applaud them for allowing these people to step up.
Yeah, that's actually a
Because
good point.
and I just think we're seeing a change in the wind again, back to the right somewhat. I'd like to see it become more of a tsunami. I said
Yeah.
tsunami, not salami. Get your mind off food.
From the spaghetti. Well, hopefully, because I think it's going to get worse. I think the left is going to continue using these celebrities as a tool to continue pushing uh, what they believe in.
Yes, but
And
let's not forget though that the the left isn't winning at every turn. I mean, just like I think I shared last week, that the actress from Mandalorian and who had a contract with Disney, Gina Carano, recently won a lawsuit against Disney for the attack on her because of her free speech comments about BLM
nice.
and some of that. And they had not only fired her, but they were very evident in their trying to keep her from having any parts in any aspect of industry until was Daily Wire somehow gave her some help. I'm not positive on that. I gotta check. but she actually gained in her notoriety because of her beliefs. And it came back to bite Disney where they didn't want to be bit in the pocketbook.
Yeah, Disney's always been losing money.
Yeah.
At least recently. All
Yeah.
their projects are failing. And you said The Mandalorian. I have not watched it, but I heard it was pretty bad. And I heard they had a lot of political messaging in there. Like they might have had like a gay couple in there or something like that. I could be wrong, but
About the only good thing that came out of Mandalorian was a cute mini Yoda version.
really,
Yeah, the baby Yoda has
yeah.
a name, but I can't remember.
Well, we'll say that
I
for.
actually had the baby Yoda house pants at one time. I'm not going to show them to you.
Well, we'll say that for another podcast video. We are approaching the end. We actually went a little bit above uh, our time limit here, but that's
Well,
okay.
you
Because
and your amazing editing, you'll figure that out.
yeah, hopefully so. But we'll end it here. It was good talking to you, Neil, and we'll join again with our editors in exile. We'll see you guys next week. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Do all that fun stuff. Any closing comments, Neil?
Now, just this is our third week of doing this, and be nice to start seeing some people tuning in, and who knows, we might even take some of you all as guests on the show.
Oh, yeah, that would be amazing. And our last video got 25 views, which I was shocked. It's something. And also, I realized that the comments were off, so I turned the comments back on. Yeah, we welcome comments. You can say whatever you want. We're not gonna kick you out. I won't delete your comment for
And if you want to
saying
comment
anything.
on how handsome I am, that's fine.
Yes, please. Everyone flood the comments saying how handsome Neil looks.
Now we just got every negative one coming our way. That's all right.
All right, we're gonna end this here. All right, I'll see you, Neil.
All right, take care, Donnie.
All right, you too. Bye.